RWA is one of the hottest crypto narratives right now. I was looking up some stats up on across the whole sector, 280% returns on RWA in Q1 2024. And was briefly actually at one point in like Jan Feb, RWA was the most profitable narrative in crypto. But then in February, you guessed it, meme coins took over and the AI narrative as
Yeah.
well. But let's start with RWA broadly. Why is it one of the leading narratives in crypto right now?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think there's a few things. One thing is just actually there is the concept of fundamentals coming in to the game. RWAs are implying that there's something with real world value getting moved on chain.
Mhm.
I still think there's a lot to unpack there, and frankly, a lot of RWA projects are just total narrative right now, which is fine.
Mhm.
But it is this like enticing thought that there's real fundamentals coming into the space that TradFi or finance is actually coming on chain, and that is true in some degree. I mean, not entirely, but it's getting there. So I think that idea is becoming more of a thing. There was a good tweet thread by Reagan Bozeman from Lattice Fund talking about how he thinks that RWAs now have PMF, product market fit,
Mhm.
because there's over $1 billion of tokenized
Mhm.
treasuries on
Mhm.
public blockchains nowadays. I've said that I think that it has better PMF with institutions than retail.
Mhm.
And I'll pull a number real quick that there's been over a billion, sorry, not even a billion, $1 trillion of tokenized treasuries on the JP Morgan Onyx permission blockchain, private blockchain. So
Yes.
like, a trillion to a billion, big difference. But you can see that this is starting to become a real thing, both
Mhm.
at the more retail as well as the institutional level. So I think that's part of it. And frankly speaking, when you got Larry Fink shilling asset tokenization, which is effectively
Mm.
RWAs on CNBC every day, that helps.
Why do you say that tokenization has more of a fit with institutions than with retail? Is that from conversations that you're having with institutions that's giving you that conviction? Is that from a broader
Mm,
view of the space right now?
well, a bit of both, but definitely probably more the latter, just of how I've kind of like formulated my thought on the industry. I don't really like the term RWA, frankly.
Okay.
You know, I think it's kind of bullshit. Honestly, like we're an RWA project, but we've been doing RWA since it was before it was called RWA. So like
Right.
it used to be called STO, and there's all these other different names for tokenization. I just think it's purely tokenization and bringing tokenized things or making things tokenized effectively, right? Bringing real world products
Yeah.
on chain. And in the TradFi speak, RWA means risk weighted assets, so it's actually kind of confusing, and it's not a great acronym for I think what we want to develop over time. But it's a narrative now. We're building in it. Whatever, we'll stick to it. But it is just more tokenization to me. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things. I mean, being in the space for a long time, I mean, we did regulated like tokenization offering in 2019 where
Mm.
we tokenized a professional basketball player's contract. Having seen how everything developed since then, frankly, it's just been a lot of problems and a lot of speculation and a lot of hype, but not a lot of substance.
Mhm.
There's still issues with liquidity. There's still issues with regulatory frameworks. There's still a lot of just technical user experience challenges when it comes to doing anything on chain. And we live in this little but we like I'm talking like we as in crypto native,
Mhm.
people. We live in this little bubble, I think, sometimes where we think that everyone just wants to use like signing keys and ledgers and all this stuff to transact. It's like, frankly
Yeah,
speaking, that is a
right.
horrendous experience, right? It's just not good.
It's awful.
And it's awful, and having been building in DeFi for the last 4 years, there's a lot of risks there. You don't know what the hell you're buying sometimes. You don't know what the smart contract means. You don't know what this wallet address
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
And like that's again a horrendous user experience. So there's a lot of stuff to fix. It just makes me feel even more bullish to see how freaking early we are
Mhm.
because I can see where it's all going. And yeah, I mean but it is exciting to be, we're kind of at the forefront of pushing this narrative, pushing this trend. Actually, not even narrative, pushing the trend of
Mhm.
asset tokenization. I think trend is more apt here because it feels more real. Narrative is
Mhm.
feeling a little bit more hypey, and that's an exciting thing because there's just so much potential. I mean, I think our tagline is like unlocking the $16 trillion RWA industry, or one of the taglines. But frankly speaking, 16 trillion is probably small.
Yeah,
Actually, it is small, not probably.
it is. I love that you say you don't love that name. Now I'm like, okay, what can we call? Do you have a better name? I gotta ask that.
Let's call it RWA for this one, I guess. I'm not. That's above my pay grade, sir.
Yeah. You got Larry Fink on the phone. Can we call him up? He just says tokenization.
Yeah,
He doesn't really say RWA, right?
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it isn't said RWA.